MoJo Beatz Music.
This interview is brought to you by MoJo Beatz Music, and Wesley Jobe of Resonance Breathwork. Resonance Breathwork. An in-depth interview of Jordan Vanderwerf on the subjects of accomplishing your goals and what it takes to see your dreams come true.
Sweet. Okay, welcome. So, yeah, let's breathe in together. Two more. Nice.
If you want to know more about me, i.e. Jordan Vanderwerf, this interview with my good friend Wesley Jobe of Resonance Breathwork will definitely show you a little bit about me and what I do and how I think.
Okay. Jordan. Hello.
Wesley, good to see you, man.
Yeah, this is fun. Thanks for making some time here to chat with me.
Yeah, you too.
In this format at least. Of course, we can chat any other time, and that's always appreciated. But yeah, so I guess I will just go over a bit of the structure here for kind of guiding the conversation, and then we can just like let it flow from there and just see what comes up, right? So I have some questions that I wrote for you this morning that somewhat vague, but hopefully juicy. And I can just kind of toss them out your way as they feel appropriate. And but yeah, nothing is too like cut and dry. No expectations here at all for anything. So really just curious to hear what's been up for you, what's going on.
Inside the fire, a summit we were born.
It's that one over there, man.
Row, fisherman, row. Keep on rowing your boat. Row, fisherman, row. Got to keep afloat. This would make a good YouTube loop.
And how you're doing,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a chance for really for you to share more of yourself. I don't want it to be about me. It's not necessarily as much of a back and forth. Really just want to highlight and listen and hear what's going on in your world. Yeah. So I guess in saying that, just to start, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling super excited. Super excited. There's this I have all this stuff to share and to talk about. I've been planning, and I've got poplar sap on my notebook, and that's one of the notes. We'll get to it.
That's essential.
And we're doing this meeting an hour and a half late because I had a pop-up meeting about this all of a sudden festival opportunity organization thing that came up. So we'll talk about that too.
Cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah. Lots of things blossoming here for you, which is rad, and I'm stoked to hear more about that stuff.
And I called when I called you, and I got your message machine earlier.
Yeah.
I like it. And congratulations on having your stuff set up. I'm super stoked. I forget what it's called, the sound healing thing that you're doing. You have two things kind of going, right?
Yeah.
What were they called again? There's
essentially if they're two businesses.
Yeah.
They interrelate a lot, of course, but one is Resonance Breathwork is my main one.
Resonance Breathwork.
And and then Fesker's Fermentary, which is like my
Oh,
food knowledge and catering kind of business that I'm starting. So
that's awesome. I didn't quite hear the name on the phone. Fesker's Fermentary. That's pretty sweet, dude.
there's a cool, there's a cool story behind the name. Actually, I chose it very intentionally. Spent a lot of time
Yeah.
setting that up in a way, and there's a cool story behind it that I'd love to tell you at some point.
Sure.
I think you would be the one to enjoy it, the etymology there and different things like that. So.
If you haven't said it at all, can you say it in like 2 sentences? A shortened version of it?
Sort of.
No.
Yeah. It's actually like a derivative of my name, and looking into the etymology of my name and where it came from and the root words. One being West, my name is Wesley, and Lee is like Old English or Irish for like a meadow or a field. But even further back, and like some different associations with those words have to do with the West, often relating to like the evening or sunset, or like the evening star or Venus. And there's a bit of like astronomy kind of associated with that, with where those names come from. And Fesker is one that I found that actually kind of translates to the evening star, or like sunset time, and just like there's some magic in that time as well, and how people contemplate their lives in the evening, or feel the warmth of that and the connection to nature in that time. So that was like an old Irish name, and I have some Irish heritage there, so I thought that would be a fun kind of old way to bring a name back into use for something that has really like ancient roots, and that's what I love to teach and bring back to the world, and that's what fermentation is for me. So
yeah, that's really cool. Right on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, fermenting is kind of like sleeping. I don't know if that to the evening time, I don't know. Anyway, that's really cool. Thanks for the short tidbit on it.
Yeah.
So what do we want to do? What do we want to do now?
Yeah, so here we have, first thing I think I want to get into is activate your imagination here as much as you want, as much as you can, as much as you allow. But let's say if me right now, like you're talking to, was you in the past. Let's say you were talking to yourself 10 years ago. What would you say to me, Jordan, now?
Wow. Okay. Hold on. Hold that thought. I'm just going to make myself a little bit more comfortable.
Okay, good. I like it.
My shirt I'm wearing is just super uncomfortable. There we go.
Whoops! Oh, now it's inside out.
That's what we're doing here. We're going inside out. Okay. Hello, myself 10 years ago. That's cool.
Yeah.
10 years ago was interesting. He sure was partying a lot. I don't know. I think the first few things I would say probably be like, I don't know, like, hey man, I love you. And don't be afraid to be yourself. And like, yeah, I might try and really encourage that, and to help my old self understand that no matter what you choose to do, like as your passion or your vocation, mostly focused on that like it there is a ton of people and community and things that will just never cease to surprise you and show up right when you need it and want it, and like it's just like all your dreams will come true if you have them. And having them doesn't mean to that end, like just like saying it once when you're chatting with a friend and doing that, but having it as in the sense of like what we try and do with like conscious activation and manifestation and holding those beliefs, and then like taking the necessary steps along the way to like, you know, put yourself in that position to like see your dreams come true. Like that would be, I guess, what I meant, having a dream, as in like actually having it. That's kind of cool thought. Yeah, I would say that, and I would say like keep on just enjoying life and the things that you really truly enjoy, and just don't try to impress anyone, and just be yourself. I guess that would probably be my thing. And like, yeah, don't be afraid, because what's the point in that? I guess. Yeah, I think that's pretty much along the lines. And I would probably rant on for a long time, get on tangents.
Nice. I'm sure he would love that.
Yeah, it would be super fucking fun talking to myself.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. Whoa, what? It would be fun to talk to myself. Oh my god. Oh wait.
Maybe I could do that now.
Maybe I've already done it.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I do that all the time, but I don't talk to my past self all the time. And that's legit. I've been doing like a small amount of internal family systems things with Morgan, which you know about, like talking to your inner child and stuff, and I've done that lots before I heard about internal family systems, but not in too much of any regimented way. But it's really cool to open that back up and just to get into that emotional state and try and dive deep into yourself.
Yeah.
and try and figure out like what kind of, not even necessarily the events that cause feelings in you to be triggered in the present tense by a situation that doesn't necessarily perhaps call for them, but also to really just hone in on that part and piece of yourself, the inner children and emotions, and the inner parts of yourself, that really just focus on them as opposed to what caused them, and just like that's a really interesting thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's been helping me a lot in times when I've become very stressed about whatever that's ridiculous, because like my life right now shouldn't be stressful. I'm not working, I'm making music, I'm free. Everything to do with COVID is like going the way that I planned it. No, the way that I imagined, like it just might happen to go, and hoped, and like everything like that is really cool. And I mean, yeah, like things are just so good. But of course, I'm human, and like I get really mad and angry sometimes, and I bring myself to super depressed, intense depressed states, and I just like, and then I just like lash out and things, and you know, and most of it's caused because of my inner traumas and things that I just like haven't ever fully dealt with. And like, yeah, so it's really good that I'm stoked to have the time and the people around me that support it to work on that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's a really great question to look back 10 years.
Yeah.
I might also say just Get fit, bro. Yo, get fit and get hip. Fit and hip. Yeah, when I say, Jordan, yo, what's up, dude? You say, I'm gonna get fit. Jordan, yo, what's up, dude? I'm gonna get fit and hip. That's how it would go. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah. One thing I noticed that I want to highlight there that I really like how you phrased that. Going back, kind of having some inner dialogue with the self in any capacity, whether it's 10 years ago, whether it's inner child kind of work. I commend you for that, and I recognize it is a great privilege and something to be grateful for, to have the time to do that. So I'm glad you're taking the time and using your time to do those things. I think that is really important, and it's going to serve you well forever. But the aspect that I really like that you touched on, that I even felt some relief in my own system and hearing, is to talk to the parts of ourselves without even like acknowledging or considering necessarily what caused them. I feel relief in that, because that's kind of like releasing even ourselves from blaming others for what caused these things to happen, or from blaming ourselves for allowing them to happen as if we were the cause. And there's a lot of relief in that. So I think that opens up so much sensitivity in our own nervous systems, to have that become like an internally therapeutic conversation. It's just to say, hey, I acknowledge you, and I see you, and I know why you're here, and just like, what is it that you need? Did you need more of this, or did you need more of that, or can I hear you better now, if you weren't heard before by others around you? Things like that. It's really cool. It's really
and that's kind of like, and I'm thankful for you to being there, like, because I like that thought, because and it's all of what you said too, and the thankfulness is basically like what the internal family systems teaches, that like the parts of us that are attached to my 8-year-old self, for example, something is the part of me that is still feels like 8 years old and is attached to attachment and connectivity with other people, let's say, is like still is all those parts, although it's that part of me that causes me to maybe get feel lonely and depressed, and then get angry, maybe even when somebody's leaving for an hour to get groceries or something, is the part of me that protected me when I was like in an emotionally unstable part of my life, and they did me a service, and since then have been doing me a service by helping me avoid situations which could cause me pain. Of course, we like to try to know that that they don't have to always do that, and many of the times, perhaps the majority of these situations, like when somebody's not leaving forever, that you lash out, is a time when they're overdoing the work that they were designed for. And so but to not think about even necessarily, and there's one thing to be said about going back and trying to figure out exactly what day or month or number of events in your life caused this piece of you to be stuck like that. It is valuable, but also very difficult, and really what the internal family systems teaches, and that I can kind of feel in myself too, is that just acknowledging it and being thankful that it existed and it exists, and being thankful for it is such a relieving feeling, and kind of a catharsis on its own, right? So I really like that.
my teacher, my teacher summed it up in a good way. My breathwork teacher, he calls it friending the defenses, or like befriending the defenses.
Exactly. Yeah.
So not shaming ourselves for having these things flare up, but just recognizing, hey, yeah, you were there for my best interest and my protection.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you for that. And now, as I am with all of these new experiences, I can kind of like relieve you from some of that duty.
Yeah.
Remind you that like I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. Thank you for, you know, continually protecting me, but through all these new things that I've noticed, you can take it easy here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let go.
Yeah, like our chance to return the favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back. Yeah. Full circle.
Those things are pretty fun. I want to circle back now to a couple of questions that I had, and yeah, they already seemed relevant to some of what you initially were sharing on that first question. So you're talking a little bit about like taking necessary steps to like having a dream, and then even you didn't say the word, but I heard a bit of like trust coming up in there, of like trusting yourself, or you know, that
in the world,
Jordan that was, or whoever, to like align with things that will have those dreams come true for you. And continually holding the vision or that dream is important there. So I'm glad you touched on that too, and not just saying it once or like in passing, or having it be like more of like a fantasy, but really like believing it. That's where the trust came in for me. And then, you mentioned not being afraid as well to like take the necessary steps to make that happen. And that's where a bit of like active role comes in. And I wanted to ask you a bit more about that. So like coming forward now and recently in your life, what is one of those like necessary action things that you have done that maybe was difficult, or that you've been perpetually doing for the last like year or so, let's say, since you've been like enjoying a lot of this like new growth and vigor, and seeing your dreams coming true that maybe you had 10 years ago. What's one of those big steps that you've made?
One of the biggest, so let's try and start with some of the bigger steps would be, like I'm kind of I'll work backwards in time. I'll work back. So the last biggest step was actually like looking into music engineering school, and like it's still about like a year and a half or more away in the future, and which it really isn't much time, but like that was so motivating in itself, just looking into it. And then like it was a week before, and then a week after, there's a Zoom meeting with like the person who does the interviewing at the school, and a few other of the now teachers, past students, producers who work there and teach the classes. And there was only like 8 people in the meeting, and so I was like the only one asking questions at the end. And they tried to end the meeting twice, and I was like, well, wait, I actually have one more question. And they're like, okay, yeah, of course. And like, it was just so motivating to be there and like realize that like it's legit. I can do it. It's absolutely there for me when I need it, whenever I need it, and whenever I'm ready. And like that was super motivating towards my end goal of like just producing music for other people and recording and everything. And also for myself as my own musician and producing my own things. It was like, now I've done this, now I can like put that in my box of things to do and finish, which is huge. And of course, I'm realizing now that my box of things to do and finish will always get bigger, and so will the box of finished things. But that's good.
Yeah.
The more things I need to finish, the better.
Yeah.
You know, why not? I don't know. So many people get dragged down by that, like having, and I still work with it. Like my to-do list of just like things, the simple things, is seemingly always just growing, and then I'll make another one with a more specific title, and then it's just they still grow, but like you always have them. And like I'll say to myself, I'll say to my 2 week ago past self right now, just like, don't be afraid to let that happen. As long as you have like, and we learned this from some other cool webinar, YouTube video, potentially I forget his name. Wait. Oh, who's that super motivational guy, man? Tony Robbins is epic. Get yourself up into a power position, do a little bit of exercise, and change your physiology, man, and your brain will just change completely. It's amazing.
Whoa!
One thing that I don't even know if it was him, but that I got from recently is like having, you know, your lists of things to do, but also have a daily to-do list that's just short, and just finish something every day, and then like you'll feel so satisfied and so like accomplished, and just getting those few things done every day is in reality what successful people do. And like you don't have to be up all night, and you don't have to lose sleep, and you don't have to give up yoga, and you don't have to give up like healthy things to be a musician or a professional or athlete, or like obviously not, but like there's a lot of often just like non-inclusive kind of thought belief, right, that you have to give up so many things to do all the other things that you love. And I really am a firm believer that you can do everything.
Yes.
Want to do, and
my man. That's what I like to hear.
And I just like, anyway. So running off on a bit of a tangent there, but
that's
like
okay. It's good.
So steps that I've taken were like doing that, looking into school, and like I'm working out a lot more, being just really taking care of my body and my mind. And like super focusing on that, like, which I still need to continue to raise the ratio of how much I take care of my physical self and mental self to accomplishing things. And like, and it's just
go together.
It's so funny that like accomplishing things is like you look back over the past week and you're like, I thought I was just focusing on accomplishing things. And then you realize like, actually, like I haven't been taking care of myself because I've been accomplishing. No, wait, I haven't accomplished much either. And I was like, oh yeah, I just need to start taking care of myself, and then I can accomplish more.
Exactly. Yeah. It's often this like expansive kind of way of being, right? It's like,
yeah,
and it comes back to that thing that you said yourself, which I love hearing, and I tell myself often as well when I get maybe a bit of an overwhelmed state, is like, I can do it all. Hell yeah, I can. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to. I mean, yeah, sacrifices are necessary here and there, but I'm not going to make sacrifices for the things that I love and choose one thing when I love 20. Like, no. Why should I?
Yeah, I'm gonna exactly. Like I'm gonna get up and do yoga, and then I'm gonna have coffee.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna work on a bit of my song for a bit, and then I'm gonna stop and not sit there for 6 hours, wasting my back away. Then I'm gonna go outside and fucking spin some fire staff, just like move, get some sun, go for a walk around the block, play in the snow, and then we're gonna go like to our friends to like just bullshit about nothing, and then like and that like takes care of a part of our soul and our brain in a way that like, and like I sometimes I'm so introverted, and I don't want to be social, so my social life is probably one of the first things that I sacrifice for accomplishing my alternative goals. and taking care of myself. It's if it's not my goals above taking care of myself, then it's like taking care of myself above everything else, and my social life is absolutely at the very bottom of everything most of the time. And Morgan's like thankfully not like that. Like usually I think it's like, I don't know, I can't say for her, but like I see social life being raised above her social life, and our social life being raised above like me taking care of myself. And not that she doesn't hold her taking care of herself equal or so to her social life, but like she is encouraging us to take the social step. And I'm like, no, I have to take care of myself before I do anything. And it's just funny because like, and I mean, so many of our friends that we're meeting and spending more time with now, like are and going for walks and doing healthy things. And so like it can all be part of one thing.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was hoping you would kind of land on. And I know it's already in you. I was hearing that is that you're recognizing that prioritizing some social time, even if it's bullshitting about nothing, is part of taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
As a human. And it's just like, it's nourishing enough for certain parts of us, even if it's just to like let loose for a while and let go of that accomplishments list and things like that. That respite is actually so integral to continually accomplishing things as a person without getting so stressed and rigid about it, right? And maybe lonely as well. I mean, I see that in a lot of successful people. Sure, they have success by a lot of means, but they can become lonely as well, or isolated through that like work ethic that they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's
I like to hear that you're balancing those things. It sounds like you're doing that really well. And my next question, kind of going along that train a little more, is after sharing some of the steps that you have been making to kind of like make these dreams come true and just prioritize what you are and feeling into all that juicy goodness that's there, I want to hear maybe a little bit about something that you're proud of. I mean, feel free to brag a little bit here if you want, or like feel it for yourself.
Thank you.
You've taken some necessary steps. You're taking some new steps that are motivating to like.
But I still want to tell you a little bit more about
learning. Okay, but then
but I can fit that into this.
Yeah, like what's something that you already have accomplished, checked off maybe recently that has come in from some work that you've put in that you can really just like be proud of. And did you celebrate it yet? And how did you do that? What?
And celebrated yet?
Yeah, like have you celebrated that accomplishment yet? Or do you plan to? And how?
Yeah. We'll probably celebrate it more.
Okay, good.
And like we, as in me and Morgan, the love of my life, because we played a show, celebrate it more, because we didn't really totally celebrate it like epically. We had like half a glass of wine last night, impromptu. So because how much of a run-on sentence I would like this to become, because like Friday, our friend Darian had like a going away party. He's going back to, he works in a fire tower. Super lonely yet catharsis of a job out there working on music and stuff. And our friend Nate came home, and we just released a few songs. I did.
MoJo
Well,
Beatz
we did it. We released some MoJo Beatz music songs.
MoJo Beatz music.
You're not thinking for yourself. If you're not thinking for yourself, you leave that to someone else. You can change your attitude. You can master truly you.
information received, rising up like trees from the darkness. And the farthest star in the galaxy feels so close I can reach out.
And then I released a couple of my singles that feature Morgan singing, and right away I see the light of day, and I know I loved an angel.
We get a little rowdy till the night's done, painting pictures in the shadows just for fun.
We paint a picture in the shadows, me and my fellow. Those ones have been so long in the book. That's actually one. Almost more proud of that than just playing a house party. But
when I say MoJo, you say Beatz. MoJo,
Beatz,
MoJo,
Beatz.
When I say fresh, you say pies.
Fresh pies,
Fresh.
pies.
When I say believe no, you say lies. Believe no,
Lies.
believe no.
Lies.
When I say fear no, you say highs. Fear no,
Lies.
fear no. When I say how you feeling, you say we good. How you feeling?
We good.
How you feeling?
We good.
When I say inner, you say peace. Inner, inner. When I say oh, you say shanty. Oh, oh. When I
we had a house party to celebrate all those things, which was really cool. And and my friend Darian and their family, they have such a great community. His mom was there, and some of their friends had like all these kids, and it's just such a great environment. And we set up our sound system there and like did a show and played a bunch of our songs that we've been practicing, which was one of the steps. Practicing. You gotta practice your stuff. And actually, you could say one definition of practicing is doing it. It's not something you necessarily do separately from the doing. It is just doing it. The practice is the practice, like people say about qigong and yoga and healing practices. They're called practices because practicing isn't the thing you do in your garage just in hiding before you bring out the painting. It's like actually just doing the painting. Wow, what am I talking about? I just had ginkgo tea. So we played a house party though, and it was loads of fun, and really proud of those songs, those two songs, and the new ones. Like, geez, these two songs, I Loved an Angel, and a song called Paint a Picture. They were born from one kind of song, and I like mingled the second one in, and then like it turned out to be that I had too much information in one song, so I took a little vocal part, and it became the chorus of the next one, and it turned into another song. The main project started out like almost 2 years ago now, I think. Probably at least 2 years ago, and is the electronic station version of the production is a complete mess, and it was in some ways a beautiful mess, and it took a lot of hardware processing power on my computer to actually get the thing to the final product, and it was hard to navigate because it was such a mess. But it's finally out, and I don't have to do anything to it anymore. And now I can just enjoy the song for once after listening to it probably over 1,000 times. And now that's super great. Great to see that gone and out into the world. And now I can just share it with anyone. And so that's super cool. And I just released a song called RNA. That's the one. I didn't tell you the name of it. I kind of forgot to reply to you. It's called RNA. Research Not Arbitrary. And so it's about like freedom and, researching things for yourself, and the fact that we can all be scientific, and that's a whole tangent that I don't want to get into right now. And that's it.
We'll hear the song.
Knowledge is University.
Get it.
And that comes out on the 7th.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
2 days.
And it's also a celebratory song about like things changing and freedom being really encompassed in the world. And that's just like, it's just a great thing. And I'm proud of that song because I produced the beat in a week and finished the vocals a week later and released it in like 2 weeks. And it's coming out before some of my other music. And I got it done, and inspiration just came just like that. And yeah, it was really cool. And so we performed all those songs, and so that was one of those steps, practicing. We practiced a ton, and we did our 9 to 10 song list. We would do one song a whole bunch of times, and then move on and do the next song a whole bunch of times, and then this week we started doing them only a couple times, and then we did a couple sets where we just went through them all, and stuff started to really come. And we had the lyrics printed out at first, and then we pretty much were able to just do the music without the lyrics after this has only been it was really only 2.5 maybe weeks of kind of hardcore practicing. And so I forgot a couple of lyrics, here and there, what you gonna do? But people loved it, and we got great responses. I impromptu went and printed off some good stickers for us, some good quality stickers.
Oh, I want to ask you to send me some of those, actually.
This one is limited edition. We only printed 12.
I want it.
For now, it's limited, Soon. It was fun, doing the whole, as an artist, people go online and they see, oh, my streams came from Denmark by 42% female and 12 non-binary, and 6% was played on a laptop and 40% came from some other device. And there's all these analytic metric things to review. And so I checked out how many of each sticker sold, and I'm like, okay. It's kind of fun to on the business end to see okay, so this is what people liked more. And so we played the show, and we had a bit of wine last night with our homemade gluten-free pizzas that Morgan whipped up, and celebrated that a little bit. And we also went for a walk that night, left the party after many attempts to leave. I asked Morgan to go for a walk, and then 15 minutes later, I'm DJing again somehow and doing freestyles just by chance. And Morgan's stuck in a conversation with somebody, and then I got off and then go find Morgan, and then she apologized, and I'm like, well, it's not totally just your fault. I was just DJing again. I don't know how I got on the tables and started rapping again, but I did. So I don't know what you were doing, but I think it's my fault. Okay. And so after an hour and a half, we finally went for a walk, and just a big hug, and we were just so stoked. And for Morgan, it was a really cool accomplishment because it was basically her first musical show in the electronic realm, with singing all of her songs, not doing any covers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As I keep my foot on my intention, I'll have focus now for clarification. There's no need for me to shout. I can tell you clear what I'm thinking about. Gonna stay strong, true to this intention. Stay strong, stay strong, stay strong. Set those good intentions. Stay strong, set those good intentions. I can see it now, this situation. No one's different. Yeah, we can have it all.
Oh, yeah.
Played acoustic music a few times at little places and busking, but then to sing all of her music, it was just such a blast, and people were really enjoying it, and it was just such like that's a really cool accomplishment. I'm super proud of her and like and myself, and we did pretty awesome. It was loads of fun.
Believe it.
Yeah,
would have loved to experience that myself as well.
And as an icing on the cake, I even lit up my fire staff for the first time.
Cool.
After that, a friend of ours finally started the fire outside, and we got out of the music and the noise for a little bit and hung out with just 3 or 4 of us only 3 of us for a while at the fire, real quiet. And I got the stuff out and finally lit it up and realized that it's not that dangerous, and you don't have to be paranoid about lighting things on fire that much. It's, be smart, but it's not like you're not playing with fire.
Huh?
Yeah. And then I'm also proud that I don't know if I should just say I'm proud. I threw my shoulder out a little bit, just mildly spinning the staff. Like I had only prepared myself like with about an hour or 2 of non-flamed staff spinning like the day before, and which it wasn't as much as I had wanted to do before I did the light up. But then and then as it's on fire, you get a little excited and you just do some stuff a little recklessly. And then like after only a couple of minutes, I'm like passing the staff to my buddy because I'm like, I don't know what I just did, but my shoulder's really weird now. So yeah, it's really sweet. And we've got all these shows coming now. And then even just a house party with like 40 people or something there. We have like I think 3 other like show opportunities now, including this festival thing that just came up out of nowhere. Like one person said like, why are you waiting till June 3rd to do a show? And it's in Cranbrook. I don't want to go to Cranbrook. It's only half an hour away. It's just like driving to the other block in Calgary or Victoria, drive across the city. But they're like, do a show in Kimberley. And we're like, yeah, okay. And I've been trying to I've been trying to convince Morgan to like do a couple shows before June there or here, and just littler shows, more local people, like people around here aren't judging us, nor are they like about to like fillet our reputation in the music industry in the world or Canada or BC even, or anywhere outside of Kimberley. Or even in Kimberley, like I said, because they're just people that just here don't really judge like that, and they're just like, "Holy shit, you play music? Whoa, that's impressive!" And so it's just
we want it.
The greatest place to like get out and like not be too judgmental of ourselves or worried about that coming towards us. And so they're like, just play a show, and like, all right. And so now we're gonna try and book like a little show here in Kimberley too. And then one of my other friends asked if we would open up for them, and then now there's this festival thing that we'll get into later. Really cool festival thing. Yeah. Amazing.
Thanks for telling me that. All that. So, and yeah, I'm hearing like there's a mix of like celebrating within performing, celebrating within even like lyrics that you're sharing, celebration coming, and even like more embodiment of your own pride with like different layers of projects that you've been working on either for a long time, and then ones that you've done really concisely, and maybe that's like a newer aspect of your professionalism and all of the practice that you've put in. So it's really cool to hear that that's kind of like all happening right now, and you're getting like a lot of good feedback, it sounds like, from that too, and even just from yourself. And then there sounds to me that maybe there's, and I mean it's probably just circumstantial, but is there a bit of like lingering where either like the celebration isn't, or even just like the kind of like basking in the good feelings of those accomplishments isn't so like clear and concise? Like I want to know if right now, how about right now, after sharing all of that, I wanted you to feel more of what it's like to share all of that with me now, to say all of that. How are you feeling now? Even just like taking another 3 deep breaths and just taking a really quiet moment for yourself, to let that in and just feel what it is to have all of that done and accomplished and out there in the world.
Awesome. I want to take 3 more breaths and then I'll answer you. Yeah,
that's perfect.
Let's do it. Let's do a 3 box breathing. Breathing in the universe. Cleansing all your cells, pushing that universal energy through your body, through every single cell. Yeah! One day, I want to share that meditation I sent you in the text via textual information.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel really great, and it's really cool to share it with you, my good friend of all people, and also just like you said, to just like say it. So thank you for asking, and really cool to just share it, and then it's like reliving it, and it's just like building that up, just like talking about your dreams all the time. With like the vigor that they're happening, not like, oh, I have dreams. No, I always have dreams. like some people might do, but like really just like basking in that, like you said, like that feels really good. And to say it all at once, like all these different things, and like talk about them like that is like really cool. And what you were asking about, like, is there a lingering aspect? And there absolutely is. There's still little parts of me that are like, oh, but you haven't finished yet. You haven't finished quite yet. You're still on the journey.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's like, well, but the journey is the part that I'm after. Yeah. So yeah, like, don't worry.
Then where are the times where I can really bask in that?
Yeah.
Accomplishments. Yeah.
Sorry? Wait.
Just, the question comes back again of like, then where am I leaving time or making time for myself to really feel the success of what happened, and almost like put it in the past a little bit as well. Like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I fucking did that. Okay, sweet. And then moving on to like, what's next?
Yeah.
And knowing that that's allowed and like also part of the process, and to like really allow ourselves to have those moments of like clear distinction of like, it's done. Sweet. I did that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Or we did that and it felt amazing. One, we can, I think, increase our limit of the good things that we allow ourselves to feel. And just remind ourselves that like we deserve it. Like, yeah, I put in all this. I put in tons of work to make this happen. And now what is the next step of like something that I wanna do to like maybe achieve something higher?
Yeah.
Having those like clear steps is just something I've been focusing a lot lately on, and recognizing how important that is for me to like keep myself motivated to keep going and not get super overwhelmed by my to-do list or whatever, or just caught up on like future oriented thinking. So that's more what I was aiming at, to like see if there's some similarities there in you, and to give you the opportunity to like feel into that and make that clear line. And then
like
now what?
I was like next step, do it again. Like not even like to complicate it and say like I'm going to do a different version of that in a different way, or now actually my next step is completely different and I have no training whatsoever in regards to it. Well, no, your next step is just do it again, man. Just feel so good about it again and do it again and do it again. And like no limits on how good we can feel or how often we feel good about what we've done. Like, I really appreciate that. Like, and that's something I've always appreciated about you, like your positive, like life and like what you used to ask people at the cash register when they come by, like, hey, what was the best part of your day today so far? Or like, what are you super excited about today that you're going to be doing later? Not just like, hey, how are you? But like that, and like I just got myself a little bit lost just now, but like no limits on like how often we bask in the goodness of what we've done. I think we've done it, because like that is just so important. And like my next step is just like doing it again and like doing it a little better, or maybe this time a little worse, because that would be easier. In terms of performing musically. Nice. Just like a little less stress, a little bit less practice, and not so much worry. Worry goes down, your enjoyment goes up, your funness, and then in reality, who's to say what's good? Like maybe the crowd enjoys that better.
Nice.
You know, who knows? And so like that's like super important. And like I think there's always going to be those lingering feelings of like, well, I have a next step, and I don't know, I guess we just have to kind of like, and in one aspect that's like, it's perfect. Like I should be glad I have a next step now, and there's something else to do. Like woohoo.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah,
there's no loss in that, right? It's like accumulative. And just to sort of start to bring ourselves to conclusion, I think here now, just with our time and everything, all of those things that we've shared so far, I want to reflect this back to you a little bit as well, something that I really appreciate and I've heard kind of tidbits about, but I want to highlight for anybody else that might ever see this video, and just for you to know it about yourself again as well, that it's so appreciated. Your ability to try things that are maybe scary, maybe hard, put yourself out there in a big way, to share things publicly with other people, and to not take it so seriously that, it's amazing. I don't know how to exactly describe it, but you seem to have this like amazing knack for doing things with a lot of integrity. Like you put so much care into crafting music and everything that you do, and it's obvious how important it is to you to do it well and to strive for excellence in your own self. And then at the same time, you're fully willing to do things a little worse on purpose and kind of experiment. And I think experiment is my favorite word there. And your like free-spirited way of being willing to experiment, even when it's something you've put so much like time and effort into doing, is just like so inspiring for, I think, any creative person or anybody that has, reservations about sharing the things that they really love and that mean a lot to them, especially even introverted people or creative people. I think you've always inspired me to do that more, and have really helped me find my voice in singing in front of people, playing music at all, doing any of those things, even sharing my paintings with people, and just taking it less seriously when it comes to that point of like, now it's time to share it.
Yeah.
And letting go a little bit more of like the impact, and even just having fun and seeing like maybe the audience likes it more this way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Just having that what if, that question is so like so freeing of the spirit. At least I've experienced that many times hanging out with you. So I want to highlight that here right now, because it's an amazing thing that you do, and that's just part of who you are. And maybe it's part of Kimberly too, it sounds like. That non-judgmental kind of way of just accepting. That's cool, man. It's really cool. So I want you to hear that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I think that's really important. Like, and like for all you out there watching this, when we got our 1 million subscribers, you may be a perfectionist, because I am too. I am crazy perfectionist, and so I spend way too much time doing certain things. No, it's not too much time. It's all meant to be that way, and I get accomplished the things that I need to and that I want to, eventually, and when it's right. But I like what you say about like the time of releasing the creation, like a song, a painting, or I was thinking kind of while you said that, like a meditation. Like I have like a meditation written out, and like the plan is to go this way, and then it's like, but all those things, music, painting, meditation, or let's say like meditation, or like a party agenda, like how we're gonna pin the tail on the donkey, and then we're gonna go eat the cake, and then we're gonna go open the presents, and then we're all gonna sit down and have a laugh together, and we'll smile, and then it's gonna go
for smiling. Go.
Like, just to put it in perspective of like who's gonna schedule a party event schedule like that? Not very often. Like, sure, the mariachi band comes on at 8. That's good enough. And dinner's ready at 7. But like, and same things, like when I'm playing a song live, it's got to be like, oh, like, you know what, I plan to cut out this beat and that beat live, and then like EQ the lows out of my vocals here and add a delay on that word, and then but like, and that's something I'm super proud of, is setting all that up live. It's super trippy, but like doing that live, and then like just completely changing it for the event, and just like upon my whim and what inspiration comes and the feelings. And that's just like, I could see that happening in like a meditation, or a not so structured type of yoga class meditation, where things just come and you just go with the flow, and like people will so enjoy it that way. And if you're enjoying it more as the leader, the teacher, the guide, then I think like people will get way more from it, for sure. Like it's got to be a thing. I think it must be in a whole bunch of books and on online blogs. There must be things about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you're living it, and you're a living example of that, which is so beautiful to me. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having.
Let the mistakes be the mistakes. Let our humanness be known, and performance can be like this intersection of continually being creative in the moment, kind of reading the room, if you will, feeling other people that are there, and responding to them, and mixing that, like the intersection of that with all this like preliminary perfectionist type work and effort. And the intersection there is what makes somebody a true like magical performer. And that's what really moves people.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, like, yeah, so anybody looking into like performing anything, like teaching yoga or performing music, is like that, or tossing like fire sticks, that's totally a thing, right? Like you feel, or a DJ, like that's the most common thing, like a DJ feeling the crowd, changing the beat, changing the stuff to match the mood. And like that's like anything we do in terms of like sharing, that's like so the way it goes.
Otherwise, we would just hit play on the playlist, right? I mean,
Yeah.
why even have a DJ at all if there's nothing magical there?
Yeah.
That human element isn't there.
Oh,
Really strong.
and I wanted to just make a little analogy about that. Would be like a wood carver. All right, so like you learn how to carve wood. You have all your techniques, your skills, and your tools, and then like, how do you actually carve the wood? Well, you have to look at the wood, and the wood is like the experience that's happening as we're performing and sharing our teachings and stuff. Mm-hmm. You look at the wood, you look at the people and the environment and their states of being, and we adapt to it. Or like in music, you learn a scale, and you don't just take that scale and put it on the ground and it becomes a song. You take your knowledge of the theory of music and you apply it to feeling and emotion and timbres of sounds and instruments and everything, and it becomes music. And so you're applying the theory to the situations, and you're uncarving your block, man. And
yes.
and
yeah.
Just one more little analogy, like painting. Like you know how to you know a variety of colors and how to mix them, and you have all your tools and your brushes, and then you're painting mediums like a canvas, or let's say you have all the tools and the different types of paint, and then you have the canvas or the paper or the wood block or the scrap material or the brick wall that you're painting on. And like, you're not going to put the same type of expression on a brick wall as you do on a thin piece of paper, and that thin piece of paper and the brick wall are your environment and your crowd and stuff. So like we gotta adapt to that. Like that's
like the interface where it becomes even like an active performance in a way, even if it's just internal, us with something tangible in the material world. I think that's what's really beautiful about any kind of art, and how so many things, like you're mentioning already, a bunch of examples, can be artistic endeavors. I think that's what I often like to inspire in people, as well, is like to show them that anything that they do and they're passionate about can have that element to it, and that spirit behind it, and that like creative force behind it, and that can really like give us this sense of fulfillment and purpose and meaning to our lives, even if we just do it alone all the time and never share it.
Totally.
I do.
Totally. Which just reminds me of I just scanned through my notes, and the last thing that I wanted to just say is, let's spend more time in nature, all of us. That's been one part of my self-care that has I've been just like continually like saying to myself as a self-mantra, like, yo, hey, go outside again, walk to the woods for a few minutes, and just like, or just sit in the yard on the grass and like even take my socks off if I can, and just doing that. And that's like, and Morgan and I have started going for walks periodically. It's just like we get up and we try to get some morning sun right away, even if I just stand in the bathroom window and just like sunbathe my face. Like this, it's just so much for the physiology and the mind once we get into nature and absorb that power. It's just amazing. It will totally change your life.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not having it already.
Yeah, I'm glad you're adding that sentiment there. It's so vital. It's so vital, and a lot of what I do is trying to get people back to nature in that way too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thanks for adding that. It's great. Mm-hmm. Okay, my friend. Well, I feel concluded there. We covered a lot of ground.
Cool.
Said a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Stop the recording here, and then we can kind of just wrap things up.
Wesley Jobe of Resonance Breathwork. And
MoJo Beatz Music. MoJo Beatz Music.
Get some in you. Get some in you. Get some in you. Get some in you.